Okay, greetings. It is March the 9th, 2009, and this is what my car currently looks like. It is nighttime. See? It's dark outside. That happens at nighttime. I haven't figured that one out yet. Anyway, this is the back of the car, which I'm getting ready to start on. And so I thought I would take a few shots of it just to give you an idea. Probably not going to look a whole lot different than it does right now, other than the rear end, because it's the rear end where we're going to focus our attention at. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close the garage door because there's like a 700 miles an hour wind blowing, and show you what I'm talking about with regard to the rear end. But I wanted to at least shoot this so that y'all can see, and that I can see what the car looked like prior to rear end rejuvenation. Alright then, I'm going to turn this off. Okay, this is the underneath side of the car from the passenger's point of view, or driver's point of view. And as you can see, we're now looking at the rear end underneath the car. And this is kind of what it looks like. I got these helper springs. The springs on the car were redone about 5 years ago. I took them down, had them redone, and at that time, these shocks that are on here are pretty weak. So I got these helper springs and put on here, and it helped hold the car up and take some of the pressure off the spring. But this is just a basic GM rear end back here. It came stock with the car. It's not a posi track. And it's got drum brakes, as you can plainly see over there. It's got drum brakes. And absolutely nothing spectacular or anything to point out here, other than the fact that that rear end is about to be replaced with a Ford 9-inch. It's now March the 9th. This is a Tuesday. And by Friday, my new rear end should be here. So, of course, I'm going to take this one out tomorrow. Or Thursday, I'm not sure, on the 11th. Probably come out on Thursday, and we'll replace it with a Ford 9-inch. So I'll have a lot more to show you once this is out of there, because this is the gas tank right here. If you can see where my hand is and where the light is, that's the gas tank of the car. That will also be removed and replaced. This is the trunk of the car up here. That's the trunk. And this is the gas tank. That'll be replaced. Everything here will be taken apart and new bushings put in, of course. And, new bumpers. You can see the bumper up there. I think you can see the bumper. Can you see the bumper? There it is. See it right there. Those will be replaced. And everything's going to be repainted, re-POR'd 15 in here. Everything's going to be redone. I figure this project here, the back end of the car, is going to be probably something that's going to take me the biggest part of the spring and summer to do. New body mounts, there'll be new body mounts put in here. Those body mounts are mashed flat, as you can see. So we'll get new body mounts for it on both sides. New body mount there as well. And we'll replace all those. And, like I said, everything will be scrubbed down and POR 15, and what's not POR 15 will be powder coated. So that's the task at hand. A lot of work to do. All them frame rails have to be redone. All that. Bumper mounts. The bumper will be coming off. All this stuff will be redone on both sides. So it's going to be quite a task. But the bad part about it is the reward here is not going to be that great, because people aren't going to see a whole lot of this unless they crawl in here and look. But I know it'll be done right, so that's the main thing. And my baby won't ever rust. Look at that car. This car is, if you can believe it, this car, I'm going to crawl into here a little farther. I don't know if we'll be able to see any of this or not, but you look at that, and I'm trying to see it, but it's This is a car that's, you know, 40 years old. Well, actually it's, you know, 47 years old. And it has very little, it has no major rust. This is just little minor stuff is all this is. I mean, this is nothing. Once I wire wheel it, I'll be able to wire wheel all that right off of there and POR 15 it, but you can see that the car is in terrific condition. There's the gas tank filler tube. I mean, it's just, you can't really find, this is like the channel under the trunk. There's nothing, there's no rust under this car anywhere. It's really quite remarkable for a car this old to be in this kind of condition, but this is the reason I bought it, primarily because of it. It was a one-owner car. I mean, we're looking down the channel now. That hole there is where the drive shaft goes through. That's the X frame, where the X comes out, the bottom two legs of the X. And if you look down the frame towards the front of the car, you can see how the X works, see? And the drive shaft goes right in that hole, goes right through the frame. And that was part of the design. It's really not a very good design because it limits you to what you can do with the car, but all that'll be, you know, wire wheeled and everything's going to be fresh. So anyway, I just thought we'd look around in here and see what we can find. There's lots to look at, really, but I'm afraid we're not getting very good pictures here, so I'm not going to spend too much time with this, but you get the gist of the idea. So that's it for now, kiddies. I will do more when the situation calls for it. And gotta figure out all that'll be wire wheeled off and POR 15. See, I'm not sure if that's, I think there's some undercoating on there. I think that's what those bumps, that bumpy stuff is. We're looking at the gas tank filler too, if I can get my flashlight to hold steady. But I think that'll all be POR 15. I think that's some type of undercoating that was on the car at one time. That a lot of it's come off over the years. Interesting. Okay, that's it for now. See you next time. Wait a minute. One more thing. Oh. These Kraggers, these will be going on eBay. It'll be interesting to see what they bring. And that's it, friends. See you next time on Bill's Garage. Those are hockey trophies. I like my hockey trophies. I work hard for those. Out. Okay, today is Sunday, March 14th at about 2:15 or so. And I just got done pulling the rear end out of the car. So we're going to have a look and see and get a look at this. And there you have it. Nothing. There's nothing under the car now. Except jack stands. Notice the proper use of jack stands. That's right. There's two there. There's two back there. And there's two more up there. So 6 jack stands being used in this project so far. But there's the car, sans the rear end. And we're going to look up underneath there in a minute, but I don't know if it'll take or not, but we'll find out. There's not a lot of room, and this camera doesn't have a lens that goes back any farther than it is right now, so it'll be kind of cramped. But everything looks really, really good under here. There's really not a whole lot of work I'm going to have to do, other than just, you know, your basic, like this stuff here. That's one of the coil spring coves where the coil spring sits in. And, you know, it's just got that kind of little bit of rust on it everywhere. I mean, anywhere in this car, there's nothing at all that would make you think that it hasn't been taken care of over the years. There's no rust. There's nothing. This is where the middle of the rear end was. And as you can see, this right here is the gas tank behind this bar here. This is the gas tank here. That'll be coming out next. This is the gas tank all in here, where my hand is. It sits vertically rather than horizontally under the car. Usually a gas tank would look like this right here, but that's my trunk. That's my trunk right here, the trunk pan. That's where a gas tank normally would sit, and that's how it would sit. But in this car, it's mounted vertically. Why? I guess for space, but that's about stupid if you ask me. It makes it more difficult to put hot rod parts on it, that's for sure. Okay, this is still Sunday, March 14th. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, this gives you some idea of what I'm dealing with here. All this stuff has got to be wire wheeled and cleaned. Everything you see. Everything. Probably looking at a couple of months to get this all finished. But as I say, everything looks just dynamite, man. I mean, it's just a matter of cleaning it now and getting it all ready to go. There's nothing here that needs attention other than cleaning. Everything looks fantastic. So I'm very encouraged with that. It's just going to take some elbow grease from here on out. I'll be under here every single night after work with the wire wheel. Looking right down the shaft of the drive shaft all the way up to the motor engine compartment up there. And this is the mount for the rear end, the upper control arm on the rear end. And that's really about it. That's about all there is to see right at the moment. I'm just laying here under the car just shooting film, so this is the brake line that I had to cut right here. I cut the brake line because I couldn't get it loose from here, but I've got to run all new brake line anyway. All that's going to be new. All that brake line all the way to the front of the car, plus the fuel line is right on top of it. Fuel line on top, brake line on bottom. Neither one of them are any good. So that's it for now, sports fans. We'll see you. Oh, I could show you the rear end that I took out. These are parts that have to go to the powder coater. Those are the control arms right there. Both the lower and the upper, and then in the middle, this piece here is the sway arm. So all that's going to be going to the powder coater. And then here's the rear end that came out of the car. If you know anybody that's looking to buy one, there it is. So, just the stock Chevy rear end. I couldn't even tell you what gears are in it. So that's about it for now. That's how the car looks on jack stands in the garage on the 14th of March. She's coming along, baby. She's coming along. See you next time on KW.